guys and girls, ladies, gentlemen, scrappers, scrapettes, and everybody else. So today I just went and picked up 20 Dell PowerEdge M605. So I thought maybe we could unbox them together. I got them fairly cheap, thank God. You know, when you have a TikTok, when you have a channel, you have to always have something, you know, decent for content. Alright, just gotta turn the volume down here and I can watch myself here. No, come on now. So somebody asked me about how to do this the other day. So you've got to have two phones. Both need a different TikTok account. Your main phone should have your main account on it. And then this is my other phone. And I've got it set for only one follower. And that follower, of course, is my D-Scraps, E-Scraps channel. So when I go live, it flashes. And I'm able to push on that, join the line, which allows me to be able to see the comments and so forth and so on. Patrick, I think it was you who asked me. And I have two phones. One is my personal phone and one is for the business. So, all right. Hiya, Michael. How you doing? Mike does stuff. Love your channel. Mark, welcome. ICUB, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So I know you've seen me do quite a few of these. Here's why I bought them. Super easy copper to get hold of. So they said there was going to be no RAM, so either they forgot or they decided to be really nice to me. I'll take it. RAM is the one thing I just cannot keep in stock. I just can't. I can't do it. I did get a chance to talk to one of my subscribers this afternoon. That was really nice. He's going to thank you, Mike. That was really nice of you. Put the gift gallery and light them up and all. I gotta really do some research into this stuff. I hope that this isn't copper aluminum. I've got a bucket of copper aluminum heat sinks I've got to try to work on. That'll be an inside job. I'll do that of a day when it's really super warm. Atomic Avenue, welcome. Yeah, you guys are awesome. There's supposed to be another this unit. This unit would have two CPUs, but it doesn't. They actually advertised this as a bare bones unit, no CPU, no RAM, no HD. So either A, they didn't get around to stripping it, or something else. I don't know. So yeah, this one is all copper. It'll probably go as number 2 copper, and the reason for that. Number 1, I have to get the screws off. But when you're deciding about number 1 and number 2 copper, you're gonna go number 1 or number 2. I'm talking copper, kids. Ha ha ha. The problem becomes right here. There's paste here, and that paste contaminates the copper. That's why they won't give me number 1 for it. Kind of seems annoying, but that is the what is on that, and any heatsink like this. And to get bare bright number 1, it has to look like it just rolled off the press, so to speak. I'll have to unscrew this bracket. I'm not expecting all 16 to be quite this good, but I am expecting the copper. That's really why what I'm going to do today is I'm going to open them and I'm going to pull the copper out of all of them. I probably won't dismantle the entire board. It's really, really freaking hot. Hi, Cherokee. Welcome. Mitch, welcome. Okay. Huh. Yeah, these are, this is really good gold content here. This is pinned, but this is pinless. This is probably an AMD Opteron chip. That will sell as a pinless CPU with a metal back. That's how they buy them. On these boards, you do have to get the bracket off because there's a metal plate under here. But I'm not going to last too long under here, guys. It's friggin' hot. The other thing, and again, I looked at the pictures, and because I've done so many of these, I'm really familiar with what's supposed to be inside of them. It's actually a unit I look to buy in bulk. These are really old. They were made in well, not really old, but I think the date on them is somewhere mid-90s. Wow. I sell these too, and that was the other reason I wanted to go through one of these. I wanted to show you some of this stuff. Wild work? Oh, I don't know. So these are peripheral high-grade cards. Look at that. That's a logic chip, gold edge BGA. And it's got the gold connectors, and that's what it'll be in my eBay store as a high-grade peripheral board with gold connectors. And again, these are the things I count on getting out of these machines. Or I hope to get out of these machines, I should say. There are hard drives here. I got a feeling this one just made it into the pile. I don't think I'm going to find that the other 15 are in quite as good shape. I am expecting the copper. That's really what I'm expecting. I'm going to go through and then I'm going to pull all the copper today because I want to go to the scrapyard tomorrow. It sure does, Vibe. He says, Vibe says technology gets upgraded every week. You're not kidding. More like every day, huh? So this is a blank. There's nothing in here. I do have 2 hard drives. I will take the boards off those. Mama, I'm in the oasis today. That's what I call my backyard, is my oasis. Alright. Turn this over. Hello, Donald. Welcome. Hi, Do Right. Hi, Dave Donahoe. How are you? I haven't spoken to you in a long time. How you been? User ending in something I just missed you. Craig Blocker, welcome. RXL, welcome. Mike's Food, welcome. Wow. Hey, you guys are awesome. Like I said, this was just kind of a random go live event just because I've got a car full of these and I wanted to go through some of the components. So a lot of you have been buying e-scrap from me, and by the way, thank you very much. If you see something on the eBay store and you are a subscriber of mine, my suggestion is go ahead and buy it. I know eBay is more expensive than doing business directly with me. I do have PayPal and all that happiness. But I'll always make it up to you. I'll throw a lot more stuff in the bag for you. It's just so much easier for me to leave that up. I'm still working on the other website, which is going to be thecomputerscrapper.com. But, you know, it's summertime, and I'm just super busy getting ready for band instrument rental season, which is coming up already. I can't believe that. Alright, so here's another nice card. This grades as a peripheral high-grade card. You know, I just have them listed by high-grade card with connector, or just peripheral high-grade cards. Peripheral cards have lots of good chips and visible gold. There's lots of gold in here, too. So, high-grade peripheral, good chips, and good gold recovery. Like I said, just for me, I just advertised this way as a peripheral high-grade board with connecting ends. These are considered like a backplane connector, something gold plugging into something gold. You'll get them back here on the hard drives. You'll get them back here at the power supply area, things like that. This is server RAM. Nice and chunky, good for gold recovery. And again, I just have a terrible time keeping it in stock. I've got an order I've got to get ready for one of my subscribers today. Matter of fact, he just called me, gave me an idea what he wants, and I'll put an order together for him. And I do have a legitimate business called Connecticut Band Instrument Services, so we certainly can set up credit cards and everything else. But again, my purpose in doing this was to really just go through some of the components and show you some of what's in here. This is a good board. It's going to grade as a dual metal socket servo board no matter what I do to it. That is the way they're going to grade it, in spite of the fact that it's just loaded with components and gold recovery. I've already asked about an upgrade. There's too much waste in this part of the board, and that's why I'll never get an upgrade on this board. Which kind of sucks. But yeah, what are you gonna do, you know? Alright, let's see. There's a backplane connecting board right here. We did get hard drives out of this one, I'm surprised. That's a nice, I'll take that board off for sure. That'll be a hard drive board. This will be a SATA connector. There's 2 parts to the connector, gold flashing, so that's actually called a low-grade SATA hard drive board. I will sell that as a high or mid-grade board. I won't sell that as a low-grade board, no way. Look at the chips on there. It'd be out of my mind to sell that as a low-grade board. Yeah, I do buy a lot of, e-scrap too. So this is just a backplane board with gold edges on it. So I sell these as backplane connectors. They're in a category all themselves. You know, I just had this conversation with one of my subscribers. He said, you know, what about the boards? I said, the problem is the boards are expensive to ship. You know, that's why I have to sell them, and they're not cheap to buy. Buy for the consumer. Where the value is for you guys is going to be buying the e-scrap. You're going to do much better, I think. My opinion. My channel, my opinion. Come on, why do you got to hang up on me? You might not need to get that off. You got to get these risers off to get this board out, and I'm also going to have to get the bolts off of these brackets. On servers, you usually have to get the bracket off to free the board. Hi Skeeter, how are you? Long time no see. I've been busy. Most of you know we had a flood Mother's Day weekend, and we had contractors in there, and insurance people in and out, and all that happiness. But I did get the outside done. I've got my new awning is up. I've got the, bought myself an inflatable hot tub. I deserve it. I can't use my regular bathtub because of the flood. Now, so here's some other really good gold recovery on this board. And again, I'm not doing this as a sales pitch. I really don't. That's not my intention. My intention is to show you what's on here. Thanks for all the likes and stuff, guys. You're awesome. Now these actually pull right out. I sold these as gold connectors. These just pull right out of here. And I don't have my flush pliers on me, but when I tell you these pull right off the board, they pull right off the board. I sell these at like $24.99 a pound. But these are nice and clean. You don't have to do a thing to them. Yeah, I don't have my other pliers here. I should go get them and show you how easily that pulls off the board. That would mean getting up. Nice clean gold pins. You don't really have to hit these very hard, guys. These are going to come right off. Actually, if you do it this way, that'll come off even easier. I never used a micro scrap like this. Hi, Denny. Thank you. Mel Gibson. I wish I could. My problem is our neighborhood is very residential. I'm really not comfortable doing gold refining. I prefer to sell it to people who are good at it. They know what they're doing. We have a lot of little kids in the family, and I just, it's not my thing. You know, I'd rather do this and, you know, sell clean, prepared gold scrap. It's just easier for me. And everybody's got their comfort zone. Yep. I got a bag full of these in the house. And again, if you buy something off my eBay store, I'll make it worth your while because I'll throw in some extra material. Just tell me you're one of my subscribers and I'll take care of you. So, the gold in here is very bright, very shiny. This is an older board. Fantastic gold recovery. I'm not going to take these because I'm going to sell this to a board buyer. and he's going to expect brackets, memory slots, and all these chips. He's going to expect that. Here's the problem, and this is still a hot debate in the board buying community. The boards, they changed the value on all of the boards, and hello, Big Red Cherry, welcome. They changed the board grading process. I can just go in with your old sheet aluminum. See, I'm not going to take these. If I take these, the board's going to get downgraded to a peripheral board. If I take this, I don't think it's going to hurt me because there is no chance of upgrading the board. This is going to sell a little bit bigger chisel would make that easier too. Yeah, look at the gold on these. Older the golder, right? And these are nice and clean. These are ready to just be processed. If this was a telecom grade board, which is the highest category board, and I took all this off, I'd get downgraded. But because there is, in my opinion, as a board buyer and a board seller, there is no possibility of an upgrade on this board. There's too much wasted space here. That's the problem. Even though this is pinned, really good gold recovery, good gold, this is a problem. Telecom boards have to be completely populated and covered with chips. Kind of like a good plate of fish and chips. Cover it with chips. Honest to God, I never used to take this stuff. Now I do. I have a choice. This whole board downgrading thing sucks. I understand why it's happening. The newer boards are not as gold rich as the older boards. It's really had a negative effect on a lot of two of the buyers that I work with. Really came down on the board prices. They went up on the telecom boards, but now try to get something graded as telecom is not easy. I've already written, I've taken pictures, and I asked about these already. And that's exactly what I was told. Too much waste here, and we can't give you an upgrade on that. Which, by the way, is fine. And I would agree. If somebody came to say, hey, I want to sell this board, I'd say, okay, it's a dual socket server motherboard, no problem. That's what I buy it as. I wouldn't buy it as that if somebody took all these chips off. But this, yeah, I can't afford to not get that. That's what it comes down to. Hey, Peppy. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Nothing like destroying a few $100 mother. I really hate when people say stuff like that. Here's the thing, right? If you think that I haven't tried to sell this, you're gravely mistaken. This is very old technology. This board is going to sell for $3.49 a pound anywhere you try to sell it. People who don't do this every day really need to consider their opinion. And I'm not mad, but let me explain my quote-unquote rant. I'm not going to go on a rant. I don't do rants. I bought this from somebody who tried to sell it. It was working technology, but it's old. This RAM is from 1995, 2 gigabytes. Nobody is going to buy these old pieces of crap technology that are slower than molasses in the fridge, and you can't update them. So, if you think that's what I'm doing, well, then I'm not the channel for you. It really annoys me when people say that. You have no idea what you're talking about. If somebody were to sell me I don't know, something I could upload links to, or upgrade the board, or make it usable, of course I'd sell it. But I buy from people who upgrade technology for a living. If they can't do it, what makes you think I can? So, they're bought as non-working units, they're old technology, they're slower than molasses in the fridge. So, The money's to be made on the components, not on the unit. I mean, I paid $10 for this thing. Come on. It's scrap. Yeah, day's alright. Can't complain. It's really hot. Now this should just slide out. Yeah. There's a little blue button here, and you just slide that out. Flip it over. Okay, I don't have the tool I need to take those off right now. Always make sure you get your battery off. I mean, this Opteron, what are they, 1980s? The Dell Opterons? They're freaking old. Matter of fact, I don't think they're even making Xeon chips anymore. I think those have gone. So, you know, it's old technology. It doesn't work. It's broken. That's why I get it so cheap. That's what I buy. I buy broken, non-working technology. I don't buy things that work. Things that work are expensive. So, you know. Usually a little bit of gold here. Don't forget to take your batteries off. There's another peripheral board here. And again, that's what these sell as, whether I sell it to one of you guys or whether I sell it to one of my 7 online board buyers. That's what this grades as. I do want to get a video up about the new board grading for PC boards. This one actually I will sell as a Goldfinger card. This Goldfinger's, I mean, it's every bit as good as the Goldfinger you get on the RAM. This is $40 a pound. These are like half of that. But look at that. You get chips, you get oscillators, IC packs, lots of gold recovery here, and they're a heck of a lot cheaper than trying to chase after RAM. So there's a lot of other good gold-bearing material out there besides just RAM. These, you know, they're pinless, and it's copper heatsink on the back. I think they're selling for about $9 or $10 a pound for my board buyer. Probably have 100 pounds of them downstairs. I'm starting to think about just cashing some of it in. Actually, I cashed a lot in this past couple of weeks. But right now, as I said, I'm going to rip these apart and go after the copper. Crap. Yeah. Alright, let's see if I can get this off and show you what's underneath. This may be the only one I do, guys. It is so hot out today. I don't even know if I can hang out here too much longer. Whew. I'm Irish, guys. I have a temper. I can't help it. Like I said, I have all of this stuff up for sale in my eBay store by the pound. I don't know. Anybody offhand know what copper is at today? Number 2 copper? Anybody know? Damn right. Thanks, C-Bigs. I was actually being filtered. I haven't had somebody say that in a long time. I actually was good. You've probably seen with some of my other rants about that. E-Waste Ben cracks me up. Oh my god, he just freaking goes off on people. He doesn't do lives though. He does just videos. He reads the comment and he goes off on them in their lives. You know, you're always going to get your people who are uneducated about these matters, and I am delighted to educate you. That's what I'm here for, to educate. These are aluminum. These I will sell as dirty connector ends. And again, these are all sold by the pound. They're in my eBay store. Amphetamine abuser. Oh my god. It started as a hobby. My primary. Ouch! Ow! 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 I just got stung. Ow, you little brat. Ow! You crappy little brat, you. Actually, I didn't even get stung. I got bit by a big black carpenter ant. Yeah? Go see God, buddy. Ow! He went right off my leg and bit me right in the back of my kneecap. Stinkwad. I guess he heard me ranting and decided to bite me. How? Woof. Daggum. Where was I? Oh, I have no idea where I was. Yeah, so this stuff is all by the pound. You can contact me directly. If you're one of my regular subs and I chat with you all the time, I'd be glad to give you my contact information. You can always leave me a message. I own a band instrument rental service. That's my prime job. I had a teaching studio until about 2 months ago. I decided to shut it down. So I closed the teaching studio because it's nothing but a big headache. The rental business I can do from home, people not showing up, wanting to be refunded even though I have to pay the teacher because you didn't show up for your lesson, blah, 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 blah. Patrick, I am good. How are you, my friend? So I've got the building up for lease. I'm hoping my landlords are the most awesome human beings in the whole wide world. They really are. They're going to let me out of the lease as soon as we get somebody to take it over. I went this morning, and my local school district came and took a lot of the equipment out. I donated it. I've gotten my money back off it, and I'd like to see the kids get some use out of it here in town. So we did that this morning. But I started doing this. Gosh almighty, it's got to be 5 years. Whenever COVID hit, that's when I started doing this. Because I needed something I could do at home. The studio was closed, And one thing led to another, to another, to another, to another. And it wound up that I was able to do this at home and take care of my mom. So that's how I started. That's how this all started. I was picking up a load of instruments at a school, and they had all these computers on the dumpster. And I knew a little bit about hobby scrapping, and we'd done a lot with old vintage computers, but I had done a lot with servers, but they were production servers. We had an audio studio at the music school. And again, it was old, outdated technology. We used it for a while. It was great, but nobody wanted to buy it. So I took it apart and I started selling the parts. And that's how I started doing this. All right, beautiful gold connectors here. In this case, these come right out. Look at that. So those are going to sell as clean gold connectors. And again, look at the color. These are old. Anthony Chavez, welcome. So, I guess this will be my... Thank you, Patrick, on the gift. I appreciate that whole lot, my friend. Guys who are into microscoping, gotta check out Patrick Williams. Guy finds gold in places that I didn't know it existed. But yeah, these are beautiful. So these sell by the pound as clean gold connectors. I put them in with these. These are nice and clean. You don't have to take anything apart. You don't have to ship a server. It's all done for you. Those are beautiful. You can tell by the color, it's a much older computer. And even by, even by this. So if you were oldest to newest on hard drives, the older ones have 48 gold pins, and that's a non-SATA connector. This would be the next step going forward. So this would be a SATA connector. It would have a cable here and a cable here. It's called the jumper, and then you put another cable over here. But again, I'm going to put these in with my high-grade boards. Why? Plenty of gold there, plenty of good chips, and I personally will sell those the same. The newer ones are a solid state. They're just they're you got to break open the you got to break open this part. It's covered with plastic. You have to break it open to see if you have gold fingers and gold pins like this, or if you have rubbish gold flashing. Yeah, this is a great board. Hard drive boards are awesome for gold recovery, guys. Really awesome. Hello, Tiger Shark from Bigfoot, Texas. Hope to God you're all safe down there. Really, so sorry to hear about the horrible weather. I guess there was quite a bit of flooding up our way yesterday too. New York got hit pretty good. New Jersey got hit pretty good. I am safe and sound in Connecticut. Thank you. So again, there's really nothing else here on the board that I would take. I am going to have to go and attend to my sting because it is itchy. I'll get these off. And there's really nothing on the back of the board. I know that just because I've done so many of these. So for my buyer, gold, gold, lots of gold, gold, and leave the chips, okay? I could take these. I think that's pushing it a little bit, and I'm not going to do that. I actually like my buyer. He's a really good guy. I'll get that plastic off. I got the battery off. So you got gold banded BGAs. Got a couple of them, actually, gold edged rather. Gold, something or other. I can't remember what the other thing is. Crystal oscillators, I take those now. I never used to, but I take those and put them aside for silver recovery for people who want to do such a thing. Right, well, I have 15 more of these to do. And it's getting warm, so I'm going to, hi Skeeter, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. So I am going to cut out, if you will. Sorry, it's a little short. Again, the Dell power module, number 2 copper. There's at least 2 pounds there, guys. That's $7 worth of copper right there at $3.50 a pound, which is what it was this morning. So this is a gold finger card. It could go as a peripheral card also, high grade peripheral at that. But again, lots of chips here, good gold recovery, clean gold figured RAM. If you see the shielded RAM that has the metal on it, this is what's under there. It's not any different. It's just that it's got that cover on it, and the cover has to be gotten off. AMD Opteron pinless CPU with a metal back, and the board will sell as a dual metal socket server motherboard. I do want to get something up on the new grading process for PCs. They've put the newer boards that have the iCore chips. The older the board, the better the gold recovery. In a nutshell, and I'll do this quick, is because they changed the board grading process. Going backwards, you know, we got the yellow boards that are covered with ceramic and gold bearing chips. Move to the next generation, gold is starting to get more expensive, copper's more expensive, everything like this. It's getting more expensive. No, Kanaki, I don't do gold refining. It's not my thing. If you're looking for a channel that does gold recovery, try Scrapping Irish, try Odin and Friends, Southern Scrapper, and Hobie-Wan Kenobi. Oh, and Scrooge McDuckin. Oh my God, that guy's amazing. Definitely some people you can check out. It's just not my comfort level. Move forward into the early 90s, you start seeing the metal sockets like this, and plastic sockets, less chips, and the boards are not this lovely colored green. They start to get, well, that's the next step. Move forward again, you get into the late 90s, early 2000s, you start getting boards that are colored. This board is full of copper and gold. It's thick, it's full of copper, gold, and everything for the refiner. They're going to shove this through a shredder and get all the value out of the board. These newer boards, pedal up to 2025, they're plastic. They're blue, they're green, they're red. They burn. They have a lot less precious metal. So what happened is now all the newer boards have been completely downgraded. It's a big ripple effect. And I do have a lot of boards. I will sort them live one day soon and show you some of the new standards for gold recovery. It's hard. I 150% understand where the board buyers are coming from, and they're right. I was wondering when it was going to happen. You know what's happening. Everybody's selling the good gold boards to refiners and selling the crap to the board buyers and expecting to get paid the same price, and that is not fair. I say that from both sides of the stick. I buy and sell. I don't even buy the plastic boards. They're garbage. There's nothing on them. If you're lucky enough to have an iCore chip, it's got to be 5, 7, or 9 to get any money out of it. If it's a 3, forget it, you're not going to get any money. You can tell because the socket looks like a piece of toast. They devalued those. There's a lot of nuances, and I'll tell you, even before I grade some of my boards, I have to go back and look. Shrek Scrapper did a really good video on that a couple of weeks ago. So the whole board buying thing has been changed, and it's expensive to ship. I mean, they're what, $1.25 a pound to ship? To make what, 50 cents a board? No, not worth it. So be careful what you buy. Pick good stuff. Old stuff is good. I'm old stuff. I'm pretty good. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy. Hi, are you kidding me? How are you? So, I'm going to sign off. Thanks again for joining me today. Usually I go on Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock. The problem is this tree. This beautiful, beautiful oak tree. It's 125 years old. And last week they came and tried to save it. And it's sick. So this weekend this tree is coming down. It's really too bad, but you can see it's got rot and disease and everything else. So we got to get it down before it comes down on somebody's head. I have a wonderful neighbor who's being responsible and taking care of it. So yeah, so it may be too noisy here for me to get a live up is what I guess I'm saying. So, Scrappy D signing off from the Oasis. And talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.